So I'm out shopping today, and I noticed something I've noticed, well, pretty much every time I've gone shopping since they declared a national emergency and our governor issued that executive order making jobs like mine unnecessary, furloughing a lot of people. And that is that there are plenty of employees working at the stores that are considered essential, like grocery stores and to some extent hardware stores. I haven't been to an auto parts store yet, but those stayed open. And even though there have been some restrictions on some of the items you can purchase from time to time at these stores, they've remained open. Even though they've limited their hours in some of these stores, in some cases, they're still open. And they do have help wanted signs. They are hiring people. I've heard from the employees that they've been given $2 an hour pay raises. They've been given like $150 a week bonuses as hazardous duty pay, but they can't call it that. I've heard that they've got unlimited overtime, which I don't know how you can have unlimited overtime if the store is only open half as much as it used to be, but I guess that other half is used for restocking shelves and sanitizing. But something I've noticed in our state, Michigan, the third worst hit state, depending on which news agency you ask, and in my county, Oakland, the second worst county in the state, according to the governor's data that she's always talking about, is there's no signs at any of these stores where they have the help wanted or now hiring within or whatever, right? None of these things saying help wanted $100 per hour, no experience necessary. And you might say, why would a grocery store have a sign like that? Because if this COVID-19 thing is as bad as they say, and these people are on these jobs that are considered necessary, and they're exposed to so many other people constantly, while the rest of us are supposed to cower in our homes, why aren't they dropping like flies? Why aren't these stores closing left and right because they have to shut down because somebody at work came down with COVID-19 and they've got to quarantine everybody? Why aren't they shutting down because half of their staff calls in sick because they've got COVID-19? Literally, why are there not stories about some of these chain stores having job fairs and doing whatever it takes to staff their stores because every employee is dying from being exposed to this COVID-19? And don't say it's because they wear a mask. And don't say it's because they have first dibs on hand sanitizer. It's because I don't believe it is as contagious as they say. I don't believe it is as deadly as they say. I think the numbers don't reflect reality. Now, I've heard the conspiracy theorists with their stories about hospitals marking car accident victims as COVID-19 deaths, or somebody who dies of something else and they test their blood after the fact and they've got COVID-19, so they mark them down as a COVID-19 death. I've heard that there's money to be made the more COVID-19 deaths you claim, and things like that. Some of it is plausible. I'm not willing to go to the extremes some of these people are going to with their explanations, but some of it is plausible. Our governor she's just all about the data. I think that maybe she was really good at math or something in school, but she wasn't very good at history. I can tell you that, because the data is not always the best way to make judgments. Now, it is a good way to create a reason to have some BS unconstitutional law. We see it with gun control all the time. They skew the numbers with their data and their statistics about crimes committed with firearms to fit their agenda. And I believe our governor is doing that. As much as I've said it's not tyranny, it's idiocy, she's using illogical, skewed data to justify her position on the whole situation, to justify these, in some cases, unconstitutional orders that she's passed, our civil liberties that she's trampled on, our economy that she's destroyed. So until I start seeing signs at hospitals, at grocery stores, hardware stores, auto parts stores, car repair shops, banks, all of these essential businesses that were forced to remain open, where these people have to suffer because they have to be exposed to the general public all day long, and they're in the highest risk because they're on the front lines. Everybody keeps calling the grocery store employees heroes because they're on the front lines. Dude, this ain't combat. I think that they're more likely to get sick from anything, the common cold, anything, because they handle money, because they're around more people in the public than, say, maybe I am at an auto parts factory. But I don't think that people are dying or people are contracting this in the numbers that are being reported. And the longer this goes on and the more ridiculous it gets, the more I've got to look at some common sense things like, why aren't all the cashiers dead? In order for me to say, enough is enough. This is a bunch of BS. We need to get back to normal.